Look good? We look okay? There you go. What is up, guys? My name is Mark Santamaria. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the RC vlog, guys. Today we are going to do a review on the beautiful Arrma Talion EXB. Oh man, I have about 4 battery packs of this thing, and I'm confident to tell you guys what I think about it. So what is this thing? This is the Arrma Talion EXB 6S. So what this car is, it's essentially a high-speed truggy, and it's good for someone who wants a truggy but still, or wants a high-speed car but still wants the capabilities of off-road. This is the perfect car. They made several versions of these. This is the EXB version. The EXB version is a version that has a lot of the durability and aesthetic upgrades. It looks super freaking cool. And also, it runs up to a 6S Lipo. When I say 6S, I mean a 6-cell Lipo. So it has a whole bunch of power. So before I got this truck, someone told me that I would really like it. And now I see why. I like cars that are extremely stable, that you can drive with confidence, and they're fun to watch. So this car, extremely stable. It's not super aggressive. It's crazy fast, crazy fast. Out of the box, I clocked it at 53 miles an hour. That's on a GNSS analyzer, GNSS performance analyzer, which some say is a little bit slower, so I'm probably guessing it's closer to 55 out of the box. But 55 miles an hour, extremely stable, great combination. I feel like this is a perfect vehicle for someone who's been driving those fast 2S, 3S vehicles, wants to jump up into that 6S category with that crazy power that's a little bit bigger. This is perfect because of how stable and easy it is to drive. So before I go into the goods and bads, I ran 4 battery packs of this thing. I didn't break a single thing. And you guys know how it is when it comes to pushing these cars to limits. I say it all the time. Any car will break when you push it to its limits. I feel like I did. I ran it on 6S, 4 battery packs, no breakages, no problems. We're not going to do very much commenting on the durability because this is it's an EXB Arrma. It's going to be very similar to your Creighton EXB, your Mojave EXB. It's a durable truck. Can you break it? Yeah, you can break it. You can break any car. However, we're not going to comment on that. We're not going to do a lot of the... I'm not going to make points on the stuff that I made points on the Creighton EXB, which I'll put a link in the eye above to my review on the Creighton EXB because they're essentially the same thing with some minor differences. Also, this review is based on the car out of the box. You Arrma fans out there, don't get mad at me when I say some of the things because I should have turned up the punch or I should have upped the diff fluid. I like to do my reviews based on someone who doesn't know much about RC, went and bought the car from the hobby shop, took it out of the box, and drove it. So I didn't make many changes. I made a couple changes, and I'll tell you why I made them here in a second. However, these are just some disclosures before everyone gets all triggered. So let's start off with the goods. So the goods. First off, I absolutely love these tires. These tires are awesome. They're belted, they're very firm, so they're perfect for high speed. Also, belted tires, and they're light. They are light, so not very much rotating mass. Awesome tires. I like them so much. I think I'm going to order a few extra sets for some of my other truggies that I want to go really fast on. But not one time did I worry about flipping it over and punching it or trying to correct and blowing the tire off, which you can do on some of these larger vehicles with the big old soft tires. When I let Ethan drive it, my youngest son, he blew the tires off one of the other cars that I have. But he didn't. I wasn't worried about him blowing tires off of these because these don't really expand that much. They're extremely firm. I love these tires. These tires are freaking awesome. Also, it jumps really nice. And when I say it jumps nice, it's extremely predictable. Whenever it jumps, it seems like every time I jumped it, at least the jumps that I did, it jumped and it was always level in the air. And whenever you were to go to correct, a lot of times if things are too aggressive, and this is kind of probably the stock ESC settings, if things are too aggressive, you slam on your brakes, it will either go really forward really fast, or if you give it a little throttle, it'll go back really fast. This one was kind of dull in the air, but because it was dull in the air, it made it super easy to control in the air. And I never once felt like I jeopardized landing. Like, it landed perfect. It was always level. It jumped really nice. Extremely predictive. The reason why that's important is a lot of times you'll go to places, you'll go bashing, and you'll hit a jump and it will just buck the car up. And that bucking the car up, the back end of the car up, will cause you to flip, brake, things like that, or it will just launch back. This never did that. It jumped level. If it wasn't perfectly level, it was easy to get perfectly level, but it wasn't overly aggressive level. Landed flat, landed front wheels down, landed however I wanted to land. Extremely easy to jump. Another thing I really like about this vehicle is it's light. It's light, even with all the reinforcements, all the added chassis braces and things like that. I felt like the car was light and nimble. The reason why I like that is, one, when you wreck, there's not as much mass getting thrown around and possibility of breaking pieces. But also, I was able to like maneuver through the bumps. It's like it was like a perfect amount of weight where it soaked bumps up, but it wasn't too light where it got thrown around. And then when you wreck it, you weren't scared to wreck it because it was so light. It's a light car. I don't know what the actual weight is. My assumption is it's kind of probably close to the Creighton EXB. However, with the tires, it might feel a little bit lighter. Maybe it might even be the case that it's not that much lighter, but it felt light. It felt very nimble. And it was a really good feeling for an off-road truggy that you're just ripping through the field. Another thing that was cool is on the box and seeing it in person, it looks like it's low. Like, it feels like it's low. The body is very sleek. The body's basically like flat on top, which, by the way, it's super dirty. I need to clean it. But it had good ground clearance. When I say it had good ground clearance, like typically whenever I go drive a car, a brand new car, I go to the park and I'm hesitant to go up the curb because I don't want to scratch the bottom of a brand new chassis. I did that with this and it cleared the curb. I honestly think that I didn't have any scratches. I mean, look, the bottom of the chassis still looks almost new. Actually, it does look very, very new. Maybe just a little bit of scratching here on the back. It had really good ground clearance. I never felt like I slammed the ground really hard, only on jumps, and even whenever I slammed the ground really hard, it didn't feel really hard because, again, it had that really nimble feel in the fields. All right, so let's move on to the bads. Although I like the tires, because the tires maybe didn't expand and maybe because they're not as big and there's not as much of a rollout, and when I talk about rollout, I'm talking about your ratio and your drive ratio, things like that, it didn't feel as fast in the fields. Like, when I was that's actually the first thing Evan said when he was driving, and he was like, it doesn't feel crazy fast, because when you're driving like a Creighton with a really big tire, really wide, like really wide profile, I don't even say profile, just a really wide, a lot of contact patch on the ground, big treads, a big tire, because that makes your rollout much greater, makes the car feel much faster. It feels like the Creighton feels super fast in the fields. This car does not. I feel like it's always kind of peeling out and diffing out. It actually did diff out a lot. However, I feel like I don't mind the diffing out because whenever it diffs out, it makes it a lot easier to drive. But when you're ripping through the fields, you don't get that like breakaway speed, or you don't feel that ballistic power whenever you pull the throttle. You can hear the motor wind up. You can feel it peel out. It will eventually get to going really fast, but it's not that like ballistic breakaway, insane speed like you would get on a Creighton. Or even the Fire Team, which I love the Fire Team, by the way. AVC. Let's talk about AVC. So I know why they have AVC. And putting AVC on this car makes it super easy to drive. Like, you can just go and punch it. Nothing happens. Straight as an arrow. I understand why you have it. However, AVC, for some reason, for me, it really, really dulls the steering. And when I say dulls the steering, like, it feels like you're pushing really, really bad whenever I had AVC on. So I I always mess it up. Anyways, I binded it up. I bound it up to my DX5C. Originally, I calibrated it wrong. So whenever you calibrate AVC receiver, you have to do full throttle, full brake, full right, full left. I had my steering reversed, so basically I was trying to correct the wrong way. It was super hard to drive. But anyways, I ended up turning it down because it felt like it didn't want to turn. Like, whenever you were actually turning, it was like it was trying to correct itself, and it was like fighting against you turning. So I turned it all the way down, and I felt like I didn't feel connected to the car. I didn't get a good feeling driving the car until I turned AVC all the way off. Again, I know why you have it. I know why it does make it more stable, and it's really good for a very entry-level driver. However, I turned it all the way off. I like to feel a lot better. Now, with that said, when I turned it all the way off, the back end did want to wash out a little bit. So when I go throw this on track, because I'm going to throw this thing on the track, I feel like you got to add a lot of anti-squat, maybe lengthen the rear camber links. You need to lock down the rear, because without AVC, it did feel a little bit squirrely. It felt like the butt end of the car was really, really loose. And then the last bad thing about it, and this is just for this one because of the body, you don't have very many battery options. Now, I used 2 3S battery packs that were pretty thin, and usually I put the battery packs on top of each other, put the connectors on top, connect them. Well, it was actually rubbing the body, so I had to force the body. You have to kind of finagle the connectors where they weren't on top of the battery. But my battery option is pretty thin. Now, if you want to run a bigger 6S, it's possible that it won't fit because of how low and sleek this body is. Now, with that said, all of these bad things that I'm saying about this car are easily fixed. Easily fixed. You just get a regular Creighton body. The tires, about it not feeling ballistic fast, you put different tires on there. And you turn the AVC off. But these are just my observations, pulling the car out of the box and driving it. I felt like those were the bads right out of the box. So overall, I really like this truck. I like it a lot. I do plan on going super fast with it, so we're going to put the high-speed gear in it, see if we can hit that 70+ miles an hour. And we're also going to take it to the track and drive it. Yes, guys, I know you have been wanting me to compare it to the Sledge. My Sledge is sitting right here. I will compare it to the Sledge also. I feel like this is a very comparable option to the Sledge. However, this one just went down on price. I think originally it was $749. Like every time I've looked at the Talion, it's $749 for the EXB RTR. Right now it's $699, and it looked like everywhere dropped that price. It doesn't look like the sales price, but for $699, so this is $100 less than the Sledge. However, I haven't compared them yet, but just letting you guys know that they did drop the price. So if you are looking to buy one, this is a good time to buy it. So tell me, guys, what do you think? What do you think about the Talion EXB? Do you guys want one? Do you think it's really cool? Would you rather just get the Creighton? Let me know what you think. Overall, again, I had a lot of fun with it. Plan on doing more with it. So, yeah, it's a cool truck. Well, I hope you liked this video, guys. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell, and you guys will see me next time. Later, guys.